Hi everyone, I'm finally back with another Disney Infinity tutorial. Apologies for that, it's just taken a while to get these together, and 2016 towards the end has been manic as hell. But apologies, I hope you've all had a good Christmas and looking forward to a new year. While Disney may be shutting down, I still will be posting clips out throughout 2017, so keep an eye out on that. And just as a promise for that, over the next few days I've got a lot more clips coming, so hopefully I should have 5 clips over the next 5 days, so hopefully you'll enjoy those. And let's get straight back to it. So this one is called How to Become a Spy. And after seeing the new Star Wars Rogue One film, which by the way is awesome, absolutely fantastic film, what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a story where I was wandering through streets, and I want the stormtroopers just wandering through as they do in certain playsets. But every time I put stormtroopers on, they attack you and they will kill you. You can't have the stormtroopers appear unless you want them to attack you or brawl you through. You can use actors, but I want the stormtroopers about. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to how you get the stormtroopers to be on your side and not to attack you and just to mingle within the game. So you'll see here, and this is a quick example that I've done. I've just created a button that generates an enemy wave generator, and these stormtroopers are going to appear. So this is the original problem. As the stormtroopers appear, they will start shooting me straight away. They're even attacking their own kind. So what I want to do is I want the stormtroopers to appear and not to attack me. Now, if you're bored of this clip already, go on, this is not what I want. If you want to jump to about 5 minutes into this clip, I'll show you the full adventure that we're going to build. But in the meantime, I just want to show you how the basics of this work, so get you the idea of how it works. So slight different layouts before, but sometimes there's so many different connections you really lose the objective of what I'm trying to achieve. So as you'll see, I'm frantically killing a few peoples with this particular wave. And like I said, I've still got more clips coming, and I've got a lot more being planned out for the new year, and even after the servers get switched off in 2017. Right, so now that wave's gone. Oh no, he's not. There's still one more left, you cheeky little swine. Right, let's get rid of him. There you go, he's gone. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get them to reappear again, but this time they're not going to attack me. Right, so I'm just going to get my creativity toys, and one of these objects is the team orbs. Now, when you see these team orbs, you think they're going to be like football matches or for games. They're not. We're just going to say that we're all on the same side. Yeah? So I'm using these just to say, hey stormtroopers, I'm on your side, please don't attack me. I put the orange orb in there just so I can switch myself to be on the opposite side, so they will change their mind and attack me on the screen. So what you'll see is on a button press, can you set, I set all players to player 1, so can you set them all to blue? So everyone's going to be blue on the screen. Okay, now in here I can do new team connection, and I connect that to the blue orb, or I can do it via properties. There's a couple of ways of doing it with the wave generators, and like I say, my other clips I'm going to show over the next few days will show all those. So when I press the button, I will now be on the blue team, and the stormtroopers will be on the blue team, and therefore they'll ignore me. So as the story goes on, I may cause some hassle in the streets, and these stormtroopers then want to investigate and want to turn and attack me. So what I'm just going to do now is create a button that will change me to the orange team, but keep everyone else on the blue team. Hopefully you're still with me on this one. So on here, when I press this button here, new logic connection, when pressed, can you change me, basically set player 1 back to the orange team? By putting me back to the orange team, the stormtroopers will then realise I'm not on their side and will then instantly start to attack me. So there's the real logic. So here we go, and we press. So we got stormtrooper appears. Now before it attacks me, the lot just wander straight past. Woohoo! Hello! Nothing. Which is all pretty damn good. No one wants to shoot, all wandering around, just ignore them as I go across. Now, in my story, I smash a window, steal some documents, shoot, rescue a princess. As soon as I press the button, I now turn to the orange team, and now they all hate me. Right? And they're going to try and kill me. Now I need to keep those orbs out of the way, because occasionally what you'll find is if you leave them out, people can bump into them, and if they do bump into them, they become part of the blue team as well. And you'll notice here what's happened is someone's connected me and I've now gone back to being blue. Right, so let's get on with the actual main story now and show you how we incorporate this into a whole campaign and objective. Okay, let's see what you think of this.
It's you. Oh, I'm on it.
So this is the adventure that we're going to build. As you can see, I'm trying to be Finn from The Force Awakens, and we're going to rescue Poe. And we're in their base, and you'll notice no stormtroopers attacking us, because why would they? I'm a stormtrooper as well, and we're wandering through. Now you'll notice some of this level that I've done on other things from my other clips. So you'll see the transporter, you'll see my famous blast doors, which I quite like. Although saying that, not a lot of you like that one. I've then got my detention block, but as you'll see, the troops and everyone walking around the base are ignoring me. I can quickly shut that door. Yeah, but you'll see, look, no one's interested, no one's attacking me. So I'm now going to go and get prisoner Poe, and I'm going to try and get him back to that ship. Yeah. At the moment, I haven't done anything wrong, so there's nothing for them to suspect anything. So I need to find which detention block's he in. So there's Poe. Right, come on, Poe. I'm here to rescue you. Follow me. Flipping heck, he was eager, wasn't he? So out he comes. Right, so we're now only going to try and look cool. So let's just keep walking steady. Just follow me, Poe. And again, none of the guards think we're anything else because we're all on the same side. Now they're a bit suspect. Hold on, what's going on? Excuse me, can you just ask me a question? Nope, gonna keep walking. Soldiers, stop. They want more help. Nope, stop this. We're gonna keep running. Right, he's not happy. Right, guards, stop him. And as soon as that, the alarm's gone off, and everyone's after me now. They all hate me. I have to say, Finn's gun is awesome. Right, we need to get to that ship. Right, now you can kill your character, by the way. Your actor can get killed, so if he does, then the mission's over. So come on, Poe, catch up with me. Now, in case any of you are worrying, it's not really Poe, it's Wedge's character, but in this example, we're pretending him is Poe. So let's get him to our ship. Come on. There's a ship waiting. Right, Poe, I'm going to get rid of you. You fly off. So I'm going to chuck him in there. He's gone. Woohoo! Right, now he's going to go around. Now I can take the rest of these guys out. And that's what we're going to build. Okay, so this is how we did it. So what you'll see here is I've brought in various elements we've done throughout the whole year. So there's my one with the how to board a transporter, so you can look out for that clip. I'm not going to show you the logic of there because I've got a whole clip showing you how to do that. We then got the Death Star hangar lifts. Again, this one you have liked, so this has got various lifts that we'll use. Again, don't need to show you that one. I've already got another clip for on that particular part. Right, what we are going to do is we're going to create a couple of buttons. So the first thing we need to do is I need to create a level starter. This sets the game off. Okay. So on the level starter, what we're going to do is we're going to get some enemies to appear, and we're going to get myself making sure we're on the right team. So first of all is I'm going to bring in the team activator, and I'm going to make myself that particular team. Yeah. So as soon as the level starts, so on level start, new logic connection. When the program starts up, can you switch me immediately onto the blue team? Set all players to the blue team. Okay, so we are now both. So if I do all players, anyone else joining me will play as well. Right, so let's now get the enemy wave generator open. Right. Right, there's my enemy wave generator, and we're going to have now stormtroopers appear within this particular section. Yeah. So what I'm going to need also is some locators, because I want them to be scattered all over the place. I don't want them grouped together, so I'm just going to put a couple of locators around. Now, again, if you've seen my other clips, you'll see that this is not where I'm going to put the locators, but it's easier to do the logic before you get there in the game. So let's connect that up. So each one of those I'm going to do locator and connect spawn location. So I'm going to my enemy wave generator, press the square button, go into new locator connection and click into each one of those points. Makes life so much easier when you're doing this. Okay, so we connect these all up. And then once I've got them set up, I can position them where I want them to go. Keep going through them all. And like that, you'll see me do this various times. You should be used to this by now. So that's where all the enemies are going to spawn. So if we go into this option and we go to properties. Right, now this is where I'm going to show you the other point. Straight here, I can say here the team B, can you be the blue team? I don't actually have to allocate it to that particular group. So I don't want any delay. I want them to spawn immediately, and they're going to be instantly the blue team. Yeah. So now I'm going to go to configure wave and choose the stormtroopers that I want. So I'm going to chuck in a load of stormtroopers in here. Now, one thing I have noticed: the more people you have, the more memory it takes up, and the more times it struggles. And what I've noticed, a lot of people are saying things like the replay tool don't work or they're bugs. They don't. What I've noticed is if memory is being used, it will not switch certain components on. So actually there's not a bug, it just says I don't have enough memory, so I can't do that activity, and it looks like it stopped. It tends to be the very last thing you want. So now I've chosen the people I want. I'm just now going to move these locators so they are going to appear scattered throughout this level. So I'm just going to move these locators all over, just so they don't just all are stuck in one area. And as you saw in that clip, as I walked through, they're all in different areas. So scatter these all around. I'll put one in the detention block. And I've got those all set up, so that's right, cool. So we've just got them moved around the screen. I expect some stormtroopers to move in. So that's those there set up on the screen, cool. Right, and like I said, the property setting allowed us to change those straight away to be blue team. I didn't actually have to say, can you be on that locator? So the other thing I can do is on my level starter, new logic connection. So new logic connection, when the level starts, can we generate that wave? Just get them on there and they will now appear all over the screen. So then my two sections started. Cool. So the next thing we're going to look at is how do I get the prisoner to appear? So as you see, I'll just move my eyes in Spark mode back to the detention block that we've got. Now, one thing I found in the past, what I used to do is I used to grab an actor and just stick him in the area that I wanted to do and try and seal it off. But I noticed that sometimes when I load up the level, the actor either slips through the gaps or the actor doesn't appear and there's no one in the block. So the only way to guarantee that your actor will always be there is actually make them appear within logic. So I need a trigger for all their settings to appear. So we're going to create a number of tools here that as soon as you press a button, it's going to make your actor appear, it's going to set the speech, set all his actions all within that trigger of the button. And in that way, the system will never forget it and therefore will always appear on the screen. So in this case, I'm going to press the button, I'm going to run in, and my hero that I'm trying to rescue is going to be down there on the screen. So the first thing I want to do is I need to point out where do I want my actor to appear. So if I get my creativity toys up and get my locator, which hey, they presto, there it is, I'm just going to position where I want my actor, and I want my actor to appear here. Okay, so I'm just going to put that locator. That is where I'm going to want my actor to appear when I want to use him. The other tool I'm going to need, there's a few of these I'm going to bring across, is the friend generator. Right, I don't want that on show, so I'm going to stick this here because this is actually outside, hidden from view. So that's my friend generator. Now, if you don't set anything, your friend will appear in the middle of nowhere. So what I have to do is make sure that is connected to the locator. So make sure the locator is set there. So when I generate my friend, he's now going to appear within that cell. So that says, oh, so when we generate the friend, it's going to appear there on the screen. Okay, so that's quite good there. And when does our friend appear? Well, the friend appears, and now if I can do it here, you can see it's quite tricky when I press that button. So when I press that button, So if I click onto there, so new logic, and hit that button, yeah, what I like to do is I would like my character to appear. So you saw our actors, and I'm just going to scroll through the list. Now the ones that are costume are the mini guys, or the little small ones. The one where the full names are actually full-size characters. So I said I wanted Poe, but there isn't a Poe character, but the one that's close to it is Wedge. Where is he? He's near the bottom there. There's Wedge. Cool. So Wedge now will appear in that particular box. Okay, now if I go to the properties of the friends setting, I can choose the behavior. So on here I can say, right, the behavior I want this guy is to be standing still. I don't want him moving around. So I actually can set right from the start, do not move. Yeah. Okay, and also I need to say that he's part of the blue team. Otherwise, if not, he's going to be attacked as soon as I take him down the street. Yeah. So I've set him to be part of the blue team. So now what happens is I open up the door, my friend will appear, and he'll be stood standing there waiting for me to do anything. Which is great, but now I need him to change state, and I need him to follow me. So we need a few other tools. So I need that dynamic trigger button. So let's find ones. Right. I need a text tool, which will also give me the speech of the message. Yeah. I need a logic gate to switch on and on to know which status I'm at. And I need the dynamic trigger. Okay, the dynamic trigger is going to understand that I was not close to that particular guy. Okay. So the dynamic trigger acts like an area where they walk into. So we go to our dynamic trigger, we go to new locator, so we can actually say, right, that's the zone or the area that we want to walk into. And there's a reason why I'm using the trigger, not an area code. I'll come back to that in a moment. So I've told the trigger to be linked to that, but just because I got it linked doesn't mean I've used it. So you must remember, and this is one I think I always forget, you must change the properties of that to say use the locator. When you've got the locator, that now works as the area when you walk into that area. So when we walk into that area, we're going to say, right, so we're going to do a new connection from here. When we walk into there, we can display the text message. So we can do a new logic connection on entered that area by the player. Right? We don't want the character to do it, by the player doing it. We display the text box 1, and that message is going to say, please follow me. So display that in message 1. Okay, so if we go to the properties of that, and what we can do here is on that property section, we go down to text 1, and there you go, you're here to rescue, follow me. So we're going to display that particular message, and we can choose style how we want it. I like to choose the banner one sometimes to appear across on the screen. Okay, so a big banner is going to appear on, it's going to last for a couple of seconds. Right, so now that we know that we've displayed the message, what we can do is do new logic connection. When message displayed, can we input a signal into this logic gate? Right, and what that means is that we've done the message, so it knows that I've done it. Yeah, so then on output this logic gate, can we then switch off that box? That means I won't get the message again, so I'm switching off. So basically it says I've displayed the message, I've done the job, and then I close the trigger. So now that we've got the message done, we need to tell the character to now follow the individual. Now, at first I thought I could use the trigger. I thought I could use a dynamic trigger to act as the same scenario as there, but it just doesn't work, it doesn't change the settings. So tried a few different things to get it to work, but I couldn't get it to switch over. And the logic's there, but the only way to get character is a trigger area. It's the only way I could get this to work. So can you put a trigger area into that particular box? Right. Now this trigger area is to get the person to follow me. Yeah. It's really weird. This is the only way I could get this to work. So I'm going to do trigger area instead. So new logic connection. When I enter that area by player, any player, I'm going to connect that to the friend generator. Yeah. And what I'm going to do here is you can ask it to do here. We don't want it to create any friends. And if you go right down to the very bottom here, there one it says right on the generated friend options. So on the generated friend person, what do you want to do? Actually, can you follow me? That is the only time you can get that to work and change, which is really weird. Spent ages trying to get that to work, but you want them to follow, and that will then change the person from standing still to now follow you in your session. Okay, and that will now say that's done. So now that gentleman will now follow me, and I now want to run back all the way back to my base. Yeah, so as soon as I'm finished, I'm going to then start running all the way back and come back to the guards. Now at this present moment, we're all on the same team, so we're not going to get spotted. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do 3 trigger areas. Okay, and these 3 trigger areas are going to offer 3 different things. Yeah, so as I'm walking back, it's going to say hold on. So as I walk through, so let's get this right. As I start the game, I go through it. Trigger areas don't do anything. Yeah, they don't do anything at all. Once I've got my prisoner and I come back, then that's when I want it. So I've got my trigger here. I then come all the way back through the screen. Now I want those trigger areas to work. So as I come back through there, when I get to the final one, they all turn on me. Okay. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a couple of logic gates. Yeah, where are they? There you go. I need 3 logic gates, 1 for each stage. Yeah. Okay, so then when I enter that area, so new logic connection, I'm going to trigger this gate, but only if that gate has been closed. Okay, and that gate only gets closed once we've captured the person. Right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 3 text messages, right? And that text message is going to give a different prompt. Yeah. So it'll ask you. So when you saw in the clip, it'll say guards, I'm not interested. Please wait and stuff from there, and it'll fire that message. So we go to the properties of that text box. Okay, we're going to insert 3 messages now into this particular box. Now you don't see the text while I'm typing it on here. I'll enter those in. And when I've got these 3 text boxes in, I'm going to have them change slightly different. So I'm not going to use the banner style, so they'll look different from the actual storyboard to look like something else. So the first message is going to get the guard saying, "Excuse me, what's going on?" The second message is going to say, "Hold on, can we stop for a second? Yeah, soldier, can you stop?" And the final message is like, "We've ignored them. Okay, guards, let's get them. Something's wrong." Okay, so there are 3 messages we're going to go through and display it. And I'm just going to leave them standard at the moment because I want them to be different to the big banner ones, which let you know that it's not me that's doing the talking. Yeah, so sometimes it's handy to have a different message on the screen. Okay, so we're aware that how this process works. So then we can go into logic here and say new logic connection when entered by a player. Yeah. So when I enter into that box, any player can do it. Right, can we input a signal into that gate? Okay. Only once we've closed that gate, yeah, so new logic connection on input blocked, can we display the first message. Right, and then the same for the next one. When entered by a player, any player, can we input a signal into that gate? Right. New logic connection on input blocked. Can we display the second message? Okay, and the final one. So when entered by a player, any player, input the message. Input the to the logic gate, and then on that logic gate blocked. So new connection. When logic block, can we display message 3? Okay, so now all 3 messages will display. Now those logic gates need to be closed, and we know when we close those because we've done this particular job. Yeah, and that message there, when we display the message, that logic gate switches that box off, so we can say at that point there, can we now go and close all those gates? So we could do new logic connection from this one here, and can we close those gates? Now you'll see this from many of my other clips. You'll see that I leave the logic gates all out in a place so I can see them, how they move and position. I don't actually get rid of them once I've got the thing tested. So keep them on display. Yeah, they just get you so you can picture what's going on, and I find it easier to have them on view like this, and then I move them afterwards. It's a lot easier to do. So I'm now closing all these gates. So these 3 areas are done. Right, so we've now got the warning message, and that will now close once we've got the prisoner. So we now need to interact with the prisoner and say, right, what's gone wrong? Okay, and it's at this final point here, that's when we know that the guards don't like us at all. Yeah, so we come back, and at that last point, that's when we go wrong. Yeah, so what we're going to do here is, we've only had a few guards because we didn't want to clog up the memory. Yeah, so what we're going to need is, we're going to need another logic gate. So on input blocked, yeah, can we input a signal here? Okay, so that signal now is going to manage, right? On output that signal, yeah, what we're going to do on this one, see what we've done there is that once we've done the message, what if I run back through the boxes? Yeah, so in that case I need to reopen them, otherwise they're going to keep shouting out the same message. So I've run through, trigger it off, but at the same time as I said, right, I've done. So I now want to close all these message boxes back. Yeah, so that way if I run back through the screen, that's not going to happen. So in this case, this little logic gate here will stop those messages and close them off and said, I've told you now. At the same time also, this could be our triggering point to say, give me 9 new lots of enemies. So I'm going to get another enemy wave generator, and the ones that I've got are going to turn on me, but I want to load more to suddenly appear, because now they're aware that I'm there. So I'm just going to do a locator with this. Right, so those enemies appear to start with. This one's same scenario, so I'm going to do configure wave. I want a load of them to appear now to attack me, so let's chuck a load of these groups in. Right, so I can right, if I locate those all to the item, so I'm now going to collect them all up here, and then I'll spread them all around the guard, so then they're not just in one area. And as you saw from the clip, then I had a lot more troops going across. Now I find that when you're playing with your games, you want there to be loads of troops, loads of movement, but that will strain the memory of the machine. And the more people you have moving around, the way you'll suddenly find logic not working. And I always thought there was a bug with the repeater, and there isn't. There isn't a bug with the repeater. The repeater stops working because you've got too many things going off, and therefore it will says, I can't activate that memory. So therefore it doesn't seem to work. And once more people kill and die, then they start working again. So just be wary of that. If you find some reason your logic stopped working, is that at that particular time there's too much things happening. Sadly, we want the big battle, the big troop, but you can't go too big on it. It just doesn't like it. It won't handle it too much. So try and, like I've always said, keep them small and compact. It still build the tension up in your story. Right, there's some guards up here. Okay. Now one thing you must do with this properties of this, so make sure it's in the blue team. So in the properties, must set this to be the blue team, because if I don't, they won't attack it. They'll be attacked by each other. If they appear they're not part of a team, the blue team will attack them themselves. Okay, so they'll all start to appear. Right, so we've now got our logic, we've got them. So what I'm going to have to do now, when your input is blocked, you'll see here is I'm actually clearing me from that team. So clear all players from the blue team. Okay, so instead of actually pointing to another colour, what I'm actually saying is, can I disconnect it? So where I've set the blue to start with, what I've done here is on this logic gate, when that input is blocked, can I now say, right, player 1 is no longer part of any team, and as soon as that happens, all the other individuals will then attack us. So what I can do now is move this in position and stretch this across. So I'm going to rearrange these, and as you say, the more stuff you've built, the trickier it gets to see where you are. But I'm now going to do an area where you go through the first block, it will trigger the first answer. Yeah, so I'm going to redesign these areas, and you'll see that I've done them where they're in a confined space, so you can't jump over it. You have to go through it at some point. Okay, I'll move, and let's get the other one across. And then we'll move this one into place here, so that's the final stage. Now you could do it, if I basically got rid of my first character and I go back to the prison cell, because I've got it as a tool, it will keep generating wedge until so I can go back and rescue another one, go back and rescue another one, so on. So I could have to go back and rescue 3 or 4 people. Okay, but at that stage I'm already aware that I'm the individuals, I'm ready for that particular screen. Okay, so that's the logic for the ship, yeah. So what I'm going to do here is, on my last thing, is finish the other sections that I've done. So I've created all that switches all that item on. So if I've got that, when I've got that connected, can I now switch that input signal into there? That triggers off my whole set of events that get that ship to be switched on and ready to go. Yeah, so you can link these together in my different stages that we've done. So all that leaves me to do now is to hide these little boxes, so we can position these out of the way. We've got these all done, so I can now move all these out of the way. So I'm going to click on those, and now I'm happy with the logic. I'm going to move those all out of the way, so you can't see any of these. Yeah, and I'm going to do the same with all these. So, and if you're seeing, just to make it easier, sometimes just keeping them in the same spot, yeah, allows you to do this. So all I'm going to do is go point to each one. Be careful, because on a number of occasions I've hit the delete key, so you'll see I click on X to move it, bring it up onto the new location where I want it to go, click X to confirm it, move your mouse away, and then exit back out. So many times have I deleted it and then have to redo all the logic again. Okay, I think we're almost done there now. Right, that's that logic out of the way. All I need now is the logic gates for my other characters. And like I said at the beginning, I've reused all the things that I've shown in the past. So my Death Star lifts, my blast doors, my detention block, my getting people into a transporter. So I've got various different things all combined together there. And if you want to look at those, I said they're all different on separate clips on here, so go and have a re-nosy. I thought I'd try and combine some of the stuff that we've done. Doesn't have to be different each time. Right, and that's basically it. So we'll just have a recap, refresh ourselves with the story again, show you how it worked. This time the clip's going to be slightly longer, show a little bit more extra to that item, and give it a run through again and check how the story works. So here we go. So Flynn runs across. Guards aren't even questioning why he's not got his helmet on, but oh well. Run through, past the guards here. Into the detention block. Go and get my guy Poe. My guy now generates. So I've now got the trigger area, walk into it. He now follows me, and that's probably why he follows me so quickly. Great. And one thing they don't do stairs, they jump it, but there he is, he's jumped. Right, so we can now walk out the prison cell. Again, no one's after us. Now we're going to go through our set of trigger gates. That's where it says, excuse me. Didn't ask us the first time. Keep running. Right, stop soldier, that's the second set, still going. We get to our third set. Right, now all hell breaks loose, they don't like us, and the guards will start attacking us. And that's it really. Quite straightforward. I hope you found this to be good. I hope you can use these ideas. Got a few more clips coming, so watch out. The next one I've got released, which should go up tomorrow, is a Call of Duty Team Deathmatch type of game where you play against each other. Now you'll probably say, well, there's already those type of games available, but this actually allows to record how many times you are killed, which there isn't at all for, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I've still got a few other ones lined up as well that I've been working on for ages, but they are coming. Let's get the walkers out. Let's do it. In case you're wondering where the hell did these appear, they're part of my lift tool. It's quite not too bad. Now don't forget to like this clip if you think it's any good, and if you don't like it or you don't think it was clear, instead of just ticking the no option, let me know what you think you didn't like about it, just so I can take that into consideration next time. But I hope we all had a good Christmas, and 2017 more clips will be coming. They may not be as regular as the other ones I've done in the past, because they take longer to do, but you're going to have a spell of clips now over the next few days, and then after that it's going to quieten down for a little bit. But get building and enjoy. Thanks for watching. Cheers guys.